Xbox on.
Game on, baby! Wow!
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
Let's do this.
Hello everyone and welcome to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast. It's the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit. I am your host, Ross Miller, and I'm joined by everyone's favourite uncle. It's Clay Parker.
Just sounds weird, man. Uncle Clay Parker.
Uncle Parker?
Uncle Parker? Something like that.
Yeah.
Unky P.
Yeah.
Unky P. That can be your name.
Dear God.
And our Lord and savoury snack, Jesus Christ himself, Rhys.
Hey.
Is that it? Just a hey?
That's how we say hello up here.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
How do you say hello in Finnish?
There's a few different ways. You can say hey.
All right,
You can say moi.
I wish I never asked.
I spell a bit.
Is anything simple in Finland?
No.
Right, so we traditionally start this with what we have been playing. So, Rhys, I'll start with you.
With me. This week I've only really been playing one game, and that is still Zelda, because I was house sitting for one of my fellow mods. Wait, I'm not done. I've been house sitting for one of my fellow mods, so of course I took the Switch with me. But I've been actually spending the entire week, except for those couple of days I was house sitting, watching my girlfriend play Mass Effect Andromeda. The Xbox has been completely absconded with. I have no access. In fact, she begrudgingly stopped to allow me to record this podcast not like 10 minutes ago. So yeah, basically I have been experiencing Mass Effect Andromeda through her eyes for the last week.
Excellent.
And are you enjoying watching someone else playing a game?
Yeah, I mean, I said this to Clay last week that, watching someone play Mass Effect is actually not so bad, because when you play it, it's like almost completely different unless you deliberately make all the same choices that they did. And it's a nice game. Well, I have to say, after having spent some time watching it, I really don't like Ryder, the main character. See, I said this to our buddy Jez on Twitter just the other day. I'm going to repeat it here. Basically, in Mass Effect, if you played as a renegade, you were this grizzled. Well, no matter what happened, Shepard was like a grizzled military veteran, who everyone snapped to and saluted. Yes, Commander. It was very, very, very military and in style. And Mass Effect Andromeda is in no way military, and I can deal with that. But I really liked playing as this renegade. Like, basically you were like Space Dirty Harry, you were a badass who took no crap, and, everyone did what you said, and you're the universe's Dirty Harry. And in this game, you only have one play style. Like, Ryder only has one defined personality, and he is a smart-ass little kid. He's sarcastic, and he always, or she always cracks jokes, and it's like a Nathan Drake wannabe. Like 21-year-old douchebag, and it's just like, dude, can you take this seriously for just 1 second? He really gets under my skin, but the other companions are okay. I really like Drac, the Krogan. He's really fun.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying watching someone playing a game at least.
It will be nice when I eventually get around to playing it myself in a year or two, I think. Well,
I've actually played it.
You have?
I've been playing it this week.
Oh, let's hear it.
Only the 10-hour trial. I haven't put my hand in my pocket yet. Okay? So, I'm quite enjoying it. I'm going to put my hands up and say I'm quite enjoying it. There is a very, very good scene at the start of the game where you're falling. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And I thought that was absolutely amazing. I tried to get my wife to get into it because I thought she'll really, really like this. And her words that she said is that she doesn't like games where you have to select what they're saying.
Oh.
It's like, better not try any Telltale games with her then.
Yeah.
Choices are bad, in her opinion.
She just wants a linear, get to the start to finish story. That's what she wants.
Has she seen Quantum Break?
Yeah, she's finished Quantum Break.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, did she like that then? Like that kind of
Yeah,
game?
she liked that.
Yeah, okay.
She did like that.
Now I'm
there
on the
was
same
only a
page.
couple of decisions on that. So,
Yeah.
well,
And even then, you couldn't
wasn't
choose
one.
what they said.
exactly. But no, what I've played of it so far, I told you I would try it. I'm quite enjoying it. I'll get more into this than I have any other Mass Effect game. And when it comes down in price, I think I'm going to buy it.
Well,
Nice.
yeah, it's good. I'm glad you think that way. And I think it's because the combat is the best it's ever been. Because I have actually played
Really
the
good.
game for a few hours myself, like way back when it first came out. And it plays a lot like Gears, except really mobile. It plays really well. The combat in the previous games was clunky as hell.
Yeah, probably going back and trying Mass Effect 1 wasn't a good idea. But also this week, I've revisited the Long Dark.
Oh, how is that coming along?
Fine, still no story mode. Hinterland, give us a story mode. But the game itself is sound. There's lots of exploration. There's lots of ways that you can die in the game, be it cold or hunger or dehydration or a bear gets you. But they've added in a sort of challenges mode. So there's one where you're under a really, really big storm and you have to make it to the top of a mountain.
Okay.
And there's another one where you've been like absolutely savaged by a bear and you're injured and the bear's hunting you and you have to get away from it to a cabin.
That sounds horrifying.
And it really is. I can't make it more than about 10 minutes in the bear one, but it's really, really got me interested in that game again. It's a nice looking world. It's a very, very good looking world. The mechanics are all sound. I just want that story mode to draw me in because the sandbox is a little bit boring now.
Uh-huh.
Ross, is that still in the preview program?
Yeah. It's been
been in
in
the
preview
preview
program since
like
day
2
one.
years.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones. But Ross, did you have a chance to check out Pit People?
I have been playing Pit People and I listened to your interview last week. I've enjoyed what I've played of it so far. Again, I tried to get my wife in it and it's not her type of game, if I'm perfectly honest with you. But it's pretty accessible for a turn-based game.
Yeah, but there's still
yeah.
plenty of
I've
depth
been really
in there
enjoying
as
it.
well. There's like it's not hidden. Like it's there if you want the depth, but if you just
Yeah.
want to have a bit of fun, you can too.
Well, I'm off work this week, so I plan to give it a good scene to. Is that what you
Yeah.
would say?
Well, once you guys actually have a team put together, I'm going to whoop your ass in the pit. Be ready for that.
Yeah. I know you are going to whip my ass in the pit, to be honest with you. Clay, what about you?
Yeah, I jumped back into Rhys, Son of Rome, now that it's
So
available
excited to play
through-
that this week. I
Games
can't
with Gold.
wait. I downloaded it today. Oh boy.
So it's what's been great is seeing a flurry of people on the sub posting how great the game is and how much they're enjoying it. It is it's a really, really great fun. I mean, it's got to be one of the best looking Xbox One games, and it was one of the launch titles. I don't know, it's brutal. I think it does get a little bit repetitive, but not in a way that I've ever gotten sick of it. It's a blast to play through, man. I absolutely love playing through that game. So
Well,
it's been fun.
Crytek know what they're doing when it comes to graphics.
Yeah.
Crysis
And you-
still looks good.
And you mentioned Quantum Break, man. That made me think I still have not finished that game. So I think I'm almost done with Rhys. I should be done in the next at some point this week. I think I'm gonna fire back up Quantum Break and finally finish that. It's only been a year since that game was released. So I might as well finally finish the damn.
No. If you keep true to yourself, you have to wait until it just before it becomes Games with Gold again.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I should wait just a little bit longer.
Actually, if you want me to be perfectly honest, I haven't finished Quantum Break, but my wife has.
Oh, well,
I don't know if that says something. I watched her finish the game.
yeah. Well, I mean
But-
that happens a lot when you've got two people in the same household who play games. Like
Yeah.
quite often, like for example, I played through Alien Isolation, and my girlfriend watched and just basically told me what to do and told me how rubbish I was whenever I died. And sometimes she plays through a game as well, and I just watch her do it. Like now with Mass Effect, so it's not so uncommon. I think that's actually a really cool thing about video games is you can participate without actually playing.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. There's been a few games, like Isolation was one that I'd done that as well. The Evil Within, we were both involved in that and played through it, sort of passing the controller. I quite like that in a game. I bought the Resident Evil pack last week.
Okay.
Which had a bunch of them. I know there's some co-op in that, so I think we're going to sit down and play through that as well this week.
Don't bother with the Revelations and Revelations.
I've played Revelations.
Oh, you poor.
I've actually finished that.
Really?
Well, so I got the good deal on that because if anyone hasn't played Resident Evil Revelations 2, one of the co-op characters is a little girl who walks about with a torch picking up bricks.
Yeah, you can just hurl bricks.
Yeah, that's it. That's all she can do.
Yeah, well, I played that with my girlfriend. The very first character, when you first start playing the game, is one person's like, the normal Resident Evil character with the gun and stuff. And all she has is a torch. She can't even throw bricks. She has a torch. And that's all she does. She shines the torch. She walks around and just illuminates things for you. And that's their job.
But as the game goes on, you feel really bad about.
Yeah,
I can't see you going to come and shine the torch over here.
It's funny, because once you unlock the little girl for the second player, when they get the ability to pick up and throw bricks, it almost becomes like an insult more than like, oh, I can throw a brick now. Like, gee, thanks.
I actually quite enjoyed Revelations 2, if I'm honest with you.
Well,
my wife never.
If you were the first player, I can maybe understand that.
So anyway, will we find out what's been happening in the subreddit this week?
We probably should.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast. This week in the subreddit.
So Rhys, why don't you start us with the first story?
Sure. The first story was posted by user FastForward22, and he posted the link to the Windows Central article from our boy Jez that Microsoft will be using Forza 7, Battlefront 2, and Red Dead Redemption 2 to showcase 4K res on Project Scorpio. And this is like, he's been really spitting out these Scorpio rumors lately, and it seems that he has rather cheekily undercut what was supposed to be a Eurogamer exclusive on Monday, but he somehow undercut them and released it before they could release their exclusive. So what do you guys think about using those as like the showpieces for this new 4K on the Scorpio?
Heck yeah. I think
Good
that
answer.
makes perfect sense.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Rumors.
Better question. What kind of games do you guys think would look amazing in 4K? And don't say every game, because that's just being cheap. Like, for example, the games that are currently out. What would you like to see given a 4K touch-up? And do you even own a 4K
goodness.
TV?
Oh, my
I do.
goodness. You do? You have a 4K TV?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
What kind?
Sony.
Oh, I see how it is. No, they make good televisions.
They do make good televisions.
Samsung is better.
At the moment, I don't even have an Xbox One S, so I'm not even getting any full benefit out of it.
Oh.
Well, you're lying in wait then. You're ready.
I'm
ready
lying
to
in
go.
wait. So,
Yeah.
I take it you don't, Clay.
No, I was going to pick up one. I picked up the Xbox One S, when it first launched, and almost immediately after was looking at the 4K HDR TVs. I was looking at a smaller one, like a 40-inch or a 50-inch for just another setup, a gaming setup, and I never ended up jumping on one. Even after the holidays, there were a ton of sales going on. Now I'm really looking at a much more expensive, much larger TV that I think I'm going to start saving for in preparation for the Scorpio, a nice OLED 60 or 65 inch TV, which will be very
Wow.
nice.
we're coming over your house.
Yeah. I mean, I bought an LED TV, 1080p standard sort of thing, maybe a decade ago, and it's still going strong. It's a Sammy, and it's got thousands of hours under its belt and not a single dead pixel, if you can believe that.
Excellent.
I know,
Well,
right?
Yeah, bot quality, lasting.
Yeah.
For me, the sports games.
Sports games. Like FIFA.
Yeah, so FIFA, Madden, NBA 2K,
Rocket
even
League.
WWE 2K, Rocket League. Like, well, I just, you tend to find that the EA big title sports games have amazing graphics anyway. And just adding so that you could see the crowd and, and even higher resolution. And yeah, I just think that would increase the immersion somewhat.
That's interesting thought. I actually thought, Rhys, that the selection that they are rumored to be presenting with for E3, Red Dead Redemption 2, Battlefront, and Forza were three, really strong titles that are visually very strong already on the current consoles. So, I mean, even Red Dead on the 360 looked absolutely amazing. GTA today, I still think looks pretty dang nice, and I can only imagine what they're going to be doing for Red Dead 2. And then Battlefront, I mean, God, that on the console, on the Xbox, that game looked amazing. I wasn't really a huge fan of the game, but visually it was stunning. And obviously Forza, any sort of driving game, always demos very well, visually, or typically I should say always does very well. So yeah, these are some
Even
some
things like
saltos.
Ace Combat
Yeah.
would be amazing.
You know what game I
Yeah.
want to see? Elite Dangerous in 4K.
Oh,
Because
I never
Elite's
even thought
easily
about
one
that.
of the best looking games on the system. One of the best looking games ever. And in 4K, it would just be like, oh, mwah. I can just see it now.
That would look pretty dang nice. I'm actually, what else is coming? Have they said anything about what games we're going to be potentially getting at E3 this year? Probably another look at Crackdown.
Sea of Thieves,
Thieves.
Battlefront 2, Forza 7, maybe the next Halo, maybe not. Hard to say, really. Maybe
the next
Microsoft's
chapter
been
in
really
Halo.
They've been really cagey about what they're showing this year. Actually,
You're probably spot on with that Halo. It's been there wasn't really Halo Wars was last E3. And it's been a year or so,
Yeah,
and I'm sure as soon as they've got to wrap up this next chapter in the Halo series, which again is another title I never got to finish, and I still have not played any of the Halo multiplayer on
Go
this
home.
console generation. I know.
Go home.
How's this possible?
You are home. Stay there.
Stay in my basement. Hey,
Yeah.
Mom!
Give me some chocolate milk. But boys, before we move on to the next topic, I can basically feel Ross starting to reach for the microphone here. Quick question: what kind of gamer are you when it comes to this Scorpio, this PS4 Pro sort of upgrade in the next system? Basically, where a lot of games are giving us the option to have 4K graphics with 30 FPS, 60 frames per second locked, or like ultra textures and effects and still it's like lower resolution, lower frame rate. What do you guys think looks better? Are you locked frame rate kind of guys? Are you high resolution kind of guys? Or do you want all the graphics and particle effects and stuff like that?
Ooh. I'll jump right in. I think it's going to depend on the game that I'm playing. Like if I'm playing Red Dead, I will more than likely sacrifice on graphics, like the 4K goodness, even though I think that would look amazing in a lot of locations that they would do in that universe, and forego for all the effects, the particle effects and all that other craziness, that the smoke and whatever it may be that you're going to get from that game. If that can be amped up to another notch, that will help, I think, suck me in even further into that world.
Mm-hmm. I'm basically the same.
I think I'm about there as well. I'm not a huge FPS type guy that I need that smoothness, for the quick motion. I don't.
For me, it's,
and I'm also half blind.
yeah, well,
So
us old men. No, but for me, racing games, 60 FPS, please, or at least locked at 30. But 60 is really good for racing games, and fighting games must be 60 because you need the responsiveness. But other than that, I don't really mind. I've never had a problem with Halo being 30 FPS or Gears being 30 FPS or anything like that. Maybe I'm weird.
No, I don't mind.
I think it might be an age thing as
could
well.
be.
Like, I think I hear a lot of younger people shouting, in their early 20s about all this, and there's a big debate in the console wars. And
I remember
all the rest
when
of it.
I used to try to play Unreal Tournament and Half-Life 1 on my piece of crap PC, and the FPS used to tank into the single digits, and I had to look at the floor. To, walk around looking at the ground just so I could get whenever went into the open areas, you had to walk around looking at the floor just so you could get through, and that was just a part of gaming. So maybe you're right, Ross. Maybe you're right. We're just sort of used to it. We don't think about it the FPS is tanking. I'll just look at my feet for a second. But a young person's like, ugh, I hate it. I don't know, maybe.
I can remember playing one of the original Rainbow Six games, and which were very tactical. But if you threw, if more than one person threw a smoke grenade, it would tank my computer. No one do smoke grenades. No one do smoke grenades. My computer can't handle it.
Right, Rhys, what else has been happening this week?
Okay, so this is actually a major update, and I mean that literally. The new dashboard experience has rolled out to everybody. And this contains new features such as integrated beam streaming, a completely redesigned dashboard, no more Snap, the death of Snap mode, new ways to track achievements, many upgrades.
There's a ton of stuff.
And Copilot mode as well. And, we've been talking about this a lot because us three are all in the preview program, or the Insiders program, as it's called now. So
Alpha Ring.
Alpha Ring for life. And so this isn't new for us. But seeing as, this is new for the majority of people, we should definitely talk it again. By the way, the lucky user who won the Karma lottery was user King Grammy. But anyway, I had to mention that. So seeing as we've had this for a long time, we've had, a chance to come to grips with it. What are your favorite features about the new Dash? And do you have any tips that you've figured out for yourself and want to share for anyone who's just now converting?
I don't know about tips. For me, I actually found it harder to use at the beginning.
Yeah, me too. It definitely
just because I wasn't used to it.
It has such a learning curve, the way they've moved basically the entire functionality into the side slide out menu.
Okay, if I was to offer one tip, it would be make sure your pins are in order of what you use the most near the top. Because when you change over to the new bar, with the pins being lowered down, it just means you've got less button presses to get to the things that you use more.
You can just go to the pins with one button, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, press right right trigger. Go straight to your pins.
Didn't know that.
Hey, there's a tip. All right.
A tip of the day.
Yeah, right trigger.
Tip of
straight to your pins. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, Rhys, the thing that I'm most enjoying, obviously, the whole menu thing, that's one of the biggest issues people were complaining about was the performance. And with the menu, that's obviously a huge factor there, is now greatly improved. But for me, my favorite thing, without a doubt, is the Beam integration service and how insanely easy it was to get that up and going. It's literally, I'm in a game. I'd like to start streaming. I'm streaming.
Yeah,
you
just hit the
there's
button.
No sign up. There's
and
no
scroll down and hit the button, press down 4 times, hit A twice, and you're done. You're online.
And you're in. It's kind of wild how well that's worked. And I've just had some great experiences with the streaming overall. I would say as far as a tip would go, with this update, I believe is the one that now you can, when you go into your games and apps section, you can view your games by Xbox One titles or 360 backwards compatible titles. And for me, I like to view my games that way because I know I'm either looking for a 360 title to play or I'm looking for an Xbox One game to play.
So what else do you want to see come?
You know, I've never really had a big problem with the dashboard. I think it's nice that we get all these new features, but I've never actually thought, I wish I could do this or that. In fact, if I had one option for something to appear on the dashboard, I would say give me back my gesture controls. I like those.
Your gesture
You're the
control.
only one.
I know.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Rhys, how many of us are still there using our Kinects and our console?
It was fun. It was so good to show. It was like a show off thing when friends and family come around. You can be like, "The future is now. Look, I can control my television."
Still, my favorite thing about the Xbox is having my Kinect set up so I can walk down the stairs and say Xbox on.
Yeah,
It automatically turn on.
and not Cortana because she's crap.
Yep. Actually, you know what? One thing that I would love to see come is the ability to filter my activity feed.
You know what? That would be a good feature. Have you checked the subreddit today?
Oh, I have not. Can you tell me about it?
Because user Smeg.
What
Lovely
a transition!
What a twist! you M. Night Shyamalan them. No, but seriously, user Smeg posted a screenshot from the very latest build of the Insider program. The activity feed has been updated with preferences options. So everyone rejoice! You can now filter out those annoying teenagers appearing on your activity feed. Hooray!
Thank goodness.
Everyone
Yeah, I'm
on
quite
the
happy
sub
with that.
should be very happy because
Yes.
literally there's a post, must be multiple times a day. How do I get rid of these annoying girls with the boobs hanging out on my activity feed? I don't know if that's what they sound like, but
Well, that is something I'm sure that everyone is excited for, as you said, Clay.
Absolutely.
I'm actually excited for it as well.
I'm actually really excited for the day when they let me choose favorites only.
Oh my goodness.
That is one of the options.
That would be a great one. Is it there?
Yeah, it's one of the options. Favourites
No
only,
way.
friends.
Oh, it was there. I didn't
It's-
see that.
Yeah, yeah. Favourites only is one of the
That's
options.
happening.
That's awesome.
No, but I quite like reading yours, and that means you wouldn't appear in my list.
Oh. Oh man, that was savage. I don't know if we're friends anymore.
I'll notice my friends count coming down by 2 by the end of this episode.
Progressively every episode, right?
Yeah. Now, I do believe that on the subreddit this week, the Xbox DVR owner was involved in a story.
He was. Unfortunately, somebody caught his webpage, the ads on his webpage serving up malware. You know, this is completely beyond his control because he's just using Google Ads, and you know it does happen from time to time, unfortunately. And he actually reached out to us mods and said, "Look, this has happened. Can I make a response? I want to apologize. I want to make this right." And we said, "Yeah, go for it." And so he basically posted a response saying that yes, this had happened. I've removed all of the ads, and for all of the Reddit users who were affected, he actually offered free their like sort of premium paid subscription to anyone who had been affected by this, which I thought was really nice.
You know what was really good about this? I was following it throughout the week, and a lot of Reddit users are like, thanks for the offer of your premium version without ads of your website, but I'm not going to take it. Because we understand that running a website, you've got to make some money, and you've got to get some money back from the hosting costs and everything else that you have. So they actually declined a lot of them.
Yeah.
So that they understand that this person needs to have adverts up in order to have money. And it seemed like a genuine mistake that he had no control over. And the fact that he came up, said, this is wrong, this is what I've done to fix it. it made me want to go to that website more.
Yeah.
If I'm perfectly honest with you, it's very, very well handled by them.
I think one of the posters just made simply like a post that said something along the lines of like, now this is how a company should deal with its mistakes, like how a company should take responsibility and fix things. Just come out and say, yes, it happened. Sorry, we'll do better. Let's make it up to you.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, something that I was quite interested in was the Halo World Championships, and it actually had record-breaking numbers. Can you believe it had 13 million unique viewers?
That's
insane.
A lot of... You know how many people live in my country? 5.5 million.
People?
Million. 5.5 people. I wonder who the half guy is.
Rhys has his own island somewhere.
Yeah. But I also noticed the fact that Green Skull was covering the event, who of course has been on this podcast.
Was he?
So congrats to Green Skull.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I can't believe I missed that, because Green Skull's, he's great.
yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
I'm so sad.
So I want to ask you guys about competitive gaming. It's not going away. And of course, Xbox is integrating a future update for competitive gaming to either view it, and also tournaments mode, which is coming in the future. In fact, World of Tanks has been added recently to the preview of that. What's your thoughts about competitive gaming? Is this something you would like to do yourself if you were good enough? And would you sit down and watch it?
I do watch it. I have actually been to a cinema to watch the League of Legends World Championships, like maybe 5 years ago at one point.
That's my idea of hell.
Hell no. Nerd. Like that episode of The Simpsons. Nerd. I went with friends. It was
That's
fun.
cool. No, that's really cool though that they actually have, that was an option to go and view this. And a cinema on a
League of
huge
Legends
screen.
is really good to watch. Like, there's a reason why it's the most popular esport. It's not because it's accessible or easy. It's the opposite. It's really, really hard to play. But if you understand the fundamentals, it's really good to watch. 'Cause you can see very easily what's going on. Like a first-person shooter tournament is also good to watch, but you're limited to only one perspective at a time. Whereas a MOBA, you can view the whole battlefield at once. So you can always be aware of everything that's happening.
It's incredible that this continues to pick up steam. I mean, that's huge numbers that people were sitting and watching. 13 million unique viewers. That's some pretty impressive viewership right there. So, I mean,
Ross,
from a business, from a business standpoint, that's got to be an amazing opportunity for game developers to try and develop games that they think can get into that space and be competitive and be popular enough to build that sort of audience. That's a really cool opportunity, I think. We know what the prize pool was?
Actually, I don't.
2 cans of Red Bull.
That wouldn't surprise me. The prize pool for League of
Split
Legends
amongst
is millions,
4 or 5 guys.
millions of dollars.
I'm not sure. I'm sure it was quite healthy. Like, these people make careers out of being competitive players. I'm halfway there to Rocket League. I've seen a competitive Rocket
With the
League
amount of
player.
hours that you've put into that, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, Ross, I meant to ask you, did you pick up didn't they put out a new DLC for Rocket League where it's like there's a hole in the ground or something like that, or the floor breaks away?
There is. Basically, the new mode is that there is no goals. Okay, in fact, I want to talk a bit about this Rocket League mode because it's totally against their usual model. The thing about Rocket League is it's very simple. There's a ball or a puck or a basketball, and you know that you have to get it in the goal. Mm-hmm. That's the simple thing about it. This mode isn't as simple. Okay, you start off with a smaller ball. It's about half the size of the regular football, and when you hit it with force, it changes to your colour. Okay? Half your floor is your colour and half the other floor is their colour. When your ball drops on their floor and it's your colour, it turns that bit of the floor and the surrounding squares your colour. Now, when you hit it a second time, it then becomes a hole. At which point you can then knock the ball into the ground to score a goal.
Okay.
Now, I know I can hear you thinking about, that sounds a bit complicated.
No.
It's a really, really fun mode that entices a lot of people to fly because you're wanting to get downward momentum, so you're trying to be above the ball.
It's like volleyball almost.
Yeah, it is. That's the best way to play it. I described it as badminton, but volleyball was probably better. There's a lot of ball chasing goes about. So, you've got 3 or 4 people chasing after the ball because you can't really defend a certain area, if that makes sense. You don't have a goal to leave a goalie. It's a total change off the regular modes, and I am enjoying it. I just think it's very different for Rocket League, who have had all these simple modes before, to suddenly have something which is a little bit more complicated.
But did you guys ever play Splatoon?
I have played Splatoon.
Well, I mean, it's quite similar in that, you don't actually score for killing people, but for painting the ground with ink. And it's similar in a way, I suppose.
Yeah, just the part is that the goal becomes, or the floor becomes the goal, if that makes sense.
But you can fall in the holes, correct? Or push people in the holes?
No, you can't. No.
Oh.
You can drive over the holes. It's only the ball that can go into the hole.
Oh, okay.
So you could potentially block the hole with your car.
Yes, you can save it. So if you're a blower, you can block the hole, but the holes can be massive.
Yeah.
Because it gets a middle square and all surrounding squares, it's not just a small hole.
Yeah, and it gets bigger over time too, I guess.
Yeah, the harder you hit it, the bigger the hole is. So I'm just shouting at my wife, get it in the hole, get it in the hole, get it in the hole.
Harder. Harder. Get in there.
Well, inevitably the hole will just continually get larger. So.
Yeah, it just gets larger until there's 2 giant holes and you're just playing keepy up in the middle with the ball, basically. No, it is fun. It's very skillful. Like,
sorry,
a good Rocket League player.
All right.
I'm really mature. I tried my best to hold that in.
Right.
I don't know what you're laughing about.
All right,
Yeah,
I've actually got a story for us. I've actually got a story for us here. User the Thunderdome, or no, just Thunderdome, I should say, posted to let everybody know that EA and Battlefield 1, if you have a premium pass, you can now have your friends play online with you with those additional maps that you've acquired through the premium pass feature. They do not have to have premium pass. Just one of your friends in the party has to have the premium pass. And I think that is a friggin' fantastic idea and a way to not segregate your gaming audience and their friends, and allow them to continually play your game. This is a friggin' sweet idea, and honestly can't believe, at least I'm not aware of any other developer or publisher or whoever putting out a game and doing something similar to this. I thought it was an absolutely awesome idea.
Yeah.
Gears of War's quite similar.
Oh, is it?
If one person owns the deluxe version, they can start private games on the DLC maps, and any of their friends can join.
Oh, that's cool.
There's been a couple that do that, yeah. The one thing to remember about this is you won't gain EXP. So if you're the premium member and I join your map and play your game, I won't gain any EXP.
Uh-huh.
So there is a negative side to it. Now, to be fair, I'm playing on a DLC map, and what they've said is, if I buy the DLC or the pack itself, that will all still be there and I'll all get credited it, because obviously they want people to buy their DLC, no one's going to argue with that. So, yes, when I'm playing with you, I'm not going to level up, I'm not going to unlock new things, I won't be able to spawn in as any DLC items as expected, with new units or anything like that. But ultimately, it's a great way for people to try out the DLC maps, see if they like them, and if they absolutely love them, they're going to go and buy them. Yeah, I think it's genius.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. It's like a demo, but lets you have fun with your friends and tempts you to buy the game.
But yeah, I genuinely do think that's an absolute genius idea, and that came from, user Thunderdome?
It's a good name.
The Thunderdome. 2 man enter, 1 man leave.
I don't know what that is.
What?
What? Mad Max, man.
It's Mad Max.
No idea.
You're pulling my leg.
Yeah, no. It's Sunday after April Fools. He's just messing with us.
Couple of bits of housekeeping. First of all, Rhys, you were on another podcast this week.
I was. You can hear me on the podcast from our neighbors over in our Nintendo. They have a little podcast called Hello Nintendo, which Clay has been on as well in the past. Isn't that right, sir?
Indeed. They have a really nice podcast.
Yes, they do. And they called me up completely randomly, and I basically took the phone call on a potato, and it was fun to join the boys and talk about Zelda without Ross breathing down my neck. So
it's an Xbox podcast, and that's all you have talked about for 4 weeks.
Sorry.
And I will continue to talk about it until I beat that game in 4 years.
I'm so close.
You can start editing it out.
Are you really?
I'm ready to rid Hyrule of its Ganon problem. I'm ready.
Excellent.
No. Keep going.
Also, next week is episode 50. As Rhys pointed out last week, we did miss 2 weeks throughout the year, so this is actually our first anniversary episode. And I'm delighted to announce that we have got a very special guest. He appeared in episode 1. It's no other than Uncle Jessy.
Yay!
I mean,
From
Major Nelson. So the Major is going to be coming back next week for our birthday episode. We want to hear from you. So tweet us at PartyChatPod, leave us a message in the subreddit. You know, if you've got any favourite memories from the first year of the podcast, if there's any messages you want shouted out in the podcast, I might even do that. You never know, depending on what we do. But expect some other special guests. I might even sing.
He might. In fact, if you guys want to say something for the birthday, feel free to record that and get in contact with us and send it over, and we may include it in the podcast, you know, as long as you're not like, you know, choking a chicken in the background or something.
Whoa, that means something over here.
And you'll never know if I knew that before I said it or not.
But we'll join you next week for a 1 year anniversary, and for another week, Xbox Turn Off.
You're listening to Xbox One Party Chat Podcast, the official podcast of the Xbox One subreddit.
Let's do this.
You know, whenever we do that, I just mentally hear the little jingle in my head, even though I can't hear it now.
Oh, I want you to try something.
What's that?
2 minutes.
What?
While we're recording, I can edit this out. Don't worry.
I'm freaking out.
What was that noise?
No, I was doing my best stamper.
Oh. Anyway, Clay, why don't you start us with the first story?
Actually, Rhys, why don't you start with this one? You're more familiar with this. I haven't read it.
The f*** are you doing over there, man? Oh, you haven't read it. Okay. All right. You wanna reintroduce that, Ross? There.
No.
So,
no, this is perfect. This is perfect transition. Seamless. Let our audience know how well prepared we are for every show.
it didn't help that I was doing that, did it?
No. Everyone.
I started looking at something else, and then I was like, "Oh crap! I don't even have the show notes open anymore." Hold on.
Hi, it's Larry here of Xbox Live's Major Nelson. You're listening to Party Chat. I love these guys. I like to come on all the time and ask them, hey, where's Black Ops 2?